Last month, the Business Courier reported some Cincinnati charities could get a windfall with EW Scripps CEO Rich Bainey's plan to sell millions of dollars in stock and donate the money to charitable groups. Since it's the season of giving, we thought it would be interesting to use Bainey's example as a celebration of local corporate giving and philanthropy. We're happy to be joined this morning by Rich Bainey, as well as by George Vincent, managing partner and chairman of the board of directors in Dinsmore and Shoals' Cincinnati law office. They joined Business Courier editor Rob Dahlmeyer in the studio. Gentlemen.
Peg, thanks so much. Guys, thanks for making the time to be here. Rich is sort of in enemy territory here, but we'll...
That's all right.
I'm sure they're closing their books as you walk by the desks. But you have the misfortune of working for a public company, and so everybody gets to know everything you do, and we get to spy on everything that you're doing and all of your giving, though, which has to give you a good and must be a weird feeling for you to be giving this kind of money away, but everybody knows about it. How does it make you feel?
It's absolutely embarrassing. That's all it is. And as we said, that's the blessing of working for a public company, where you have to file a reason for why you're selling any stock. But it's terribly embarrassing. This is a giving community, and I think there are CEOs and business leaders who are unbelievably generous. You know, I'm embarrassed that some money I give out of my plenty would be singled out as some sort of fantastic act, when really there are others who are far more generous than I am.
But it's critical that people like you are doing this. And George, you are involved in, seems like, half of the charities in town. Why don't you give
I'm on Rich's list, I hope.
Yes. Why don't you, and by the way, off camera, he was trying to recruit him to join yet another charity. But
which he's going to do. He just doesn't need to. He said yes, but he will.
There's a negotiation to follow.
Why are you so involved in so many different charities, and is it embarrassing for you to be talking about this? Because you guys do make a huge difference, but it's not necessarily something you want to walk around with a placard on.
Well, it's easy to get involved in our community. Lots of great organizations that do a lot of great things, and if you express interest, people are more than happy to get you engaged. One thing leads to another, and you get to meet great guys like Rich and do things together. And then it's fun to find ways to make our community better and to give back.
What are you working on right now? What are you involved with right now that's maybe top of mind?
I'm chairing the SIZE campaign, which is the Catholic Inner City Schools campaign. We're looking to raise $2.65 million.
What do you want to do with that money?
There's 1,800 students in 8 SIZE schools that we support with that money. They do a phenomenal job for inner city schools. I'm not Catholic, I'm not from here, but it's one of the best charities I've ever seen.
How did you get involved? Who?
Somebody asked me, and somebody I respected, and I said, you have to say yes to those people, right, Rich?
Yeah, it's a great cause.
Yeah. It's a wonderful cause. Yeah. Rich is very generous, a very generous donor to SIZE himself.
So, Rich, how do you make decisions on where to give your time and money?
Well, I'm a former journalist. I run a news company, so I'm probably most focused on basic human needs, and very focused on education, and especially higher ed. We've seen just incredible declines in public funding support for universities. I'm on the board at NKU and do a lot of work to try to build scholarship funds for first-generation college students whose lives and families will be changed through a college education. But also Free Stir Food Bank, things that Greater Cincinnati Foundation stands for and fund, and just a variety of things.
You mentioned at the beginning that Cincinnati is a really quiet town, but it is a very generous town, and I just happen to know that because we cover it and we see it, and we have a hard time sometimes getting people to even say anything. I've always felt like it was smart to talk about giving because you may be able to get somebody else to give, but that's not, clearly, neither of you, that's not the first impulse that you have. But do you think that Cincinnati is different than other cities in this respect? Or are we just a normal, typical Midwestern place as far as philanthropy, generosity, and charity?
I think actually the statistics would suggest that this is a generous town. What's the size of our United Way campaign?
$62 million this year.
$62 million. Fine Arts
about $14 million.
Wave is $14 million. You've got close to $80 million in cash just in those two that comes out each and every year. You know, we play way out of our league, with those being the two examples. It's a very generous town.
Well, we're out of time, but it's really, really important, I think, for us to mention, and to Courier, we try to mention this, but sometimes we don't do a good enough job, is that CEOs like these guys and the people that are running the other big companies in town, you have no idea how much time these guys are spending behind the scenes to make this city work. So thank you both for being here and for your generosity and for being in Cincinnati.
Well, thanks for having us.
Yeah, thanks for having us. Merry
Thanks,
Christmas.
Guys. You too. Thanks.